going on? What is poppin' YouTube world? My name is Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice because that is my nickname. I appreciate you guys for watching this video today. Be sure to smash this like button right about now, as it does help these videos get out to the public and the channel to grow overall. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos weekly, and almost every single day if I can, and turn on post notifications too, so you do not miss a single one of those videos that I post. And it's only right, you guys. Someone explain to me why Bill O'Brien and Romeo Crennel have not been fired yet. Someone explain to me why the Houston Texans have not cleaned house yet. Heck, who is even their GM? Can we at least please get a real GM in there, please? Listen, guys, I'm still not absolving Bill O'Brien and Romeo Crennel, the Texans defensive coordinator, from that horrible performance in the playoffs versus the Kansas City Chiefs. They need to go, and they need to go now, or else the Houston Texans, they're not going to fully prosper under those two guys being the defensive coordinator and the head coach. Guys, listen, anytime you blow a 24-0 lead in a playoff game, while in the process letting the opposing team go on a 51-7 run, that is a fireable offense. And people want to tell me it's the Kansas City Chiefs offense, man. Patrick Mahomes is the best player in football. Oh, it's hard to stop that. It's really hard to stop that. No, stop it. Stop with the excuses. Yes, we know Patrick Mahomes is great and arguably maybe the best quarterback in the game of football. To me, he's at least in the top 3. We know the Kansas City Chiefs have elite weapons, but guys, it is very hard to give up 51 points, okay, almost unanswered. Guys, the Kansas City Chiefs won a 51-7 run literally in less than a quarter and a half, okay? That's how bad it became for the Houston Texans defense and their coaching staff, okay? Romeo Crennel is outdated as a defensive coordinator, and Bill O'Brien's in-game decisions have continuously hurt the Houston Texans in the playoffs, whether it be deciding to not kick the game-clinching field goal versus the Buffalo Bills in the first ever in the playoff game in the wild card round, whether it be not having the Houston Texans prepared for the game in the first place, and whether it be deciding to fake punt when you're up 24-7 and allowing the Kansas City Chiefs to regain momentum in the game. Bill O'Brien's in-game decisions just they're terrible. They're awful. You're up 24-0 and you end up losing the game 31-51. That's embarrassing. That's a fireable offense. And listen, they will continue to fail until they make some wholesome changes to the organization and clean house. Listen, is Bill O'Brien a terrible head coach? No, he's not a awful terrible head coach, okay? He's not awful, okay? He's not Freddie Kitchens. He's not Jim Schwartz, okay? You know, Bill O'Brien, he's won 54% of his games. He's won the Division 4 the last 6 seasons. I get that. But guys, you know who else who has won a division in the past? Jason Garrett. Is he winning Super Bowls? Is he elevating the Dallas Cowboys? I do not think so, okay? I'll give you another example. Let's talk some college football here. Clay Helton. Is Clay Helton a terrible head coach? No, okay? You know, USC, they don't have a terrible head coach. Clay Helton is fine. He's won a Rose Bowl before. Just like Bill O'Brien has won a playoff game before. He's won a division before. Jason Garrett, they won a division before. They are decent head coaches. But guys, Clay Helton and Jason Garrett and now Bill O'Brien do not deserve to have their job because they cannot elevate these teams. They just can't. Clay Helton is not meant to be the USC head coach. USC football, they deserve a head coach that can allow them to compete for national championships, okay? The Dallas Cowboys, they got rid of Jason Garrett because they said, we need to win Super Bowls, okay? I want to ask you guys a question. Why does all of a sudden, when Bill O'Brien leave Penn State University, the football team, their football program, they get automatically better? You know, James Franklin is running that Penn State football program, and they're pretty much a top 10 team almost every single week in the college football season, okay? They're up there competing with Ohio State and Michigan and, Wisconsin and things like that. They are a Big Ten team to be reckoned with. They compete. they have been much better since Bill O'Brien has left there. Bill O'Brien was only 15-9 at Penn State. It wasn't like he was spectacular, okay? Bill O'Brien has not gotten it done in the playoffs. His only 2 playoff wins in 5 appearances have came against backup quarterback Connor Cook and Josh Allen, who people a year ago were wondering if he could continue to start in the NFL. He looks so bad at times, okay? Josh Allen has made a lot of improvements, but again, you know, he barely beat Josh Allen, who was a first-time starter in a playoff game. Okay, listen, the Buffalo Bills honestly should have won the game, but no, Deshaun Watson saved the day. Bill O'Brien's coaching almost lost the Texans that game, and in the Houston Texans playoff losses under Bill O'Brien, he's gotten blown out by the Colts and blown out by the Chiefs twice. In his 3 playoff losses, okay, Bill O'Brien loses by an average of over 21 points, okay? When Bill O'Brien loses in the playoffs, they're not close losses. The Texans are not competitive. No, they lose by almost a combined 3 scores per game, okay? That's abysmal. That's atrocious, okay? And you know, during the offseason, once Andrew Luck announced his retirement, I said that the Houston Texans had a chance to run this division for the next 10 to 15 years and compete for Super Bowls because they got the best quarterback in their division, Deshaun Watson. They still right now have the best quarterback in their division. But guys, coaching also matters. Okay, listen. The Houston Texans are being threatened right now. You want to know why? Because Frank Wright, he's a quarterback away from competing in this division once again, okay? If the Colts get a Tua Tagovailoa or Justin Herbert next year, look out because they have all the parts right now. They have the coach. They have the parts. They just need a quarterback, okay? And the Tennessee Titans, now they've moved off a terrible Marcus Mariota. They are in the AFC Championship game. They are in the Texans division right now. They're not going anywhere with Mike Vrabel as their head coach. So if I'm the Houston Texans, I would say this to you right now. Get it right. Clean house and get some better coaches in there right now. Because as of right now, you have the 3rd best head coaching staff in your own division. And that's just not going to cut it. And you know, I fully believe that Deshaun Watson just deserves better. And I believe that Deshaun Watson, he'll continue to get the Texans to the playoffs. He'll continue to, you know, have some decent seasons. But again, I don't think Deshaun Watson will ever fully prosper until he gets the right head coach for him. You know, the Houston Texans, they're treating Deshaun Watson like he's Aaron Rodgers back in the middle of his prime. Like he's Andrew Luck. More so Andrew Luck. Deshaun Watson's career so far has been very Andrew Luck-esque. He might as well be the black Andrew Luck, in my opinion. The reason why is because the Houston Texans, they ask him to do everything. They ask him to make up for a bad offensive line. They ask him to bail them out constantly and consistently. And they ask him to cover up for Bill O'Brien's bad play calling and bad in-game decisions. Kind of like Chuck Pagano in Indianapolis when he was the Colts head coach. You know, Andrew Luck literally had to be the ultimate deodorant. He had to do everything. And while he's a special, rare talent and he's capable of doing that, that's not what you want Andrew Luck to be doing. You want to at least support Andrew Luck. You want to get the right coach that will get the best out of one Andrew Luck. You know, Deshaun Watson, I believe he's just too good for Bill O'Brien. Deshaun Watson right now is one of the 5 best quarterbacks in football. I don't care what anyone says. If you disagree with me, you're not watching Deshaun Watson and the entire quarterback circle in the NFL fully. You know, the only quarterbacks that might be better than Deshaun Watson right now are Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, maybe Lamar Jackson, and maybe Drew Brees. And right now, I take Deshaun Watson over Lamar Jackson and Drew Brees because I've seen Lamar Jackson in the playoffs twice. He's looked bad, okay? And Drew Brees, while he's still a great quarterback, the game, in my opinion, has kind of passed him, and he's in his 40s, okay? There's a reason why Drew Brees lost in the first round of the playoffs to the Vikings, okay? He cannot consistently push the football down the field, and he can't evade pressure. He's never been able to evade pressure, and he's lost a little bit of zip to the football, in my opinion, okay? So, either way you slice it, Deshaun Watson, he's anywhere from a top 5 quarterback to one of the 5 or 6, 7 best quarterbacks in football, okay? And the Houston Texans are wasting his best years so far up to this point, okay? And they cannot continue to do that. Listen, you ever meet a friend, or you ever have a friend, have you ever had a friend where he's dating these chicks, he's dating these girls, and you just look at him and like, okay, you're a great dude, you're a high school varsity football star, you know, you're a great businessman or whatever, but you're dating this girl that's not offering you anything, okay? You can do so much better. Man, you should be going after 10s and 9s and 8s. You're selling for 5s and 6s and 7s. You think to yourself, bro, what are you doing? That's how I feel about the Houston Texans with Bill O'Brien and Deshaun Watson. You know, Bill Belichick, he's qualified, in my opinion, to coach Tom Brady. Same with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Same with even Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers. Matt LaFleur comes in, he wins 13 games the first year he's with Aaron Rodgers. Same with Sean Payton and Drew Brees. The quarterback and coach relationship has to be balanced in the NFL, okay? You know, I just think that Deshaun Watson's way up here and Bill O'Brien is way down there. Bill O'Brien is not equipped to get the best out of Deshaun Watson. He's not equipped to get the best out of this Texans roster. And again, he's a decent coach. You know, they'll make the playoffs with the roster they have, but they will never be taken seriously in the playoffs because he's not a great head coach. He's just not, okay? You know, the Houston Texans, do better, please. Deshaun Watson deserves better. Get him a better head coach. Get him a Josh McDaniels. Get him a Eric Bieniemy. Get him a creative offensive mind that gets the best out of him. Do you know the Houston Texans got outgained this year? They got outgained by their opponent. They somehow made the playoffs. You want to know why? Because they had DeAndre Hopkins, Kenny Stills, Will Fuller, and Deshaun Watson, and a couple of nice players on defense. They went solely off of their roster. They did not go based off of coaching. No. Bill O'Brien, the thing that people fail to realize is what Bill O'Brien is doing. A lot of head coaches can do the exact same thing. Come in, win 11 games with Deshaun Watson, win about 10 or 11 games with Deshaun Watson, go to the playoffs, barely win a first round playoff series, and then get smoked in the very next round. A lot of coaches can do that same thing and potentially even better. I feel a lot of coaches can do better than what Bill O'Brien is doing. You know, there's no excuse for what Bill O'Brien has done so far. Again, he's been a decent head coach. He's gotten into the playoffs, but again, the Houston Texans will never reach Super Bowl heights and expectations if they don't get rid of Bill O'Brien. You know, this team lost to Kyle Allen this year. This team lost to a rookie quarterback, Drew Lock, this year. Both at home and both not in great fashion, okay? And listen, the Buffalo Bills game, that wildcard game, that was all about Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, and J.J. Watt, okay? Deshaun Watson is one of the reasons why Bill O'Brien still has a job today. Do you really truly think that if the Houston Texans did not trade up to get Deshaun Watson, that Bill O'Brien would still be having a job right now? I think it's very unlikely that if they don't trade for Deshaun Watson, Bill O'Brien does not have a job with the Texans anymore, okay? I don't understand why they've not fired this man after his bad performance, okay? Again, you know, that Buffalo Bills wildcard game, the Buffalo Bills just flat out punched the Texans in the mouth. They were clearly, by far, at a coaching disadvantage. But you want to know why they somehow found a way to barely beat Josh Allen, who barely was completing 50% of his passes in this game? It was because Deshaun Watson is just that guy. And again, Deshaun Watson, he'll bail Bill O'Brien out. In some of these wildcard games, he'll bail Bill O'Brien out in the regular season. But come playoff time, you need to get the right coach. And Bill O'Brien is just not the guy. A lot of coaches can do what he's doing, and even a lot better. And I want to talk about Romeo Crennel. Listen, Romeo Crennel needs to go as well, because Romeo Crennel, listen, I got nothing but respect for Romeo Crennel, because this guy is a 72-year-old football legend as far as coaches go, okay? He's to be respected, okay? You know, ever since 2000, he's been a coordinator, okay? He's got a lot of experience. He's been coaching defense ever since 1970. Romeo Crennel is a legendary figure amongst the NFL circle, okay? He's a great defensive mind. But Romeo Crennel is 72 years old, okay? His ideas and creativity on defense, it's been passed by. It's outdated. They need to make some changes on defense. You know, I understand that the Texans might need to add another cornerback or a pass rusher or two, but man, Romeo Crennel, his defensive schemes are just outdated with this team. They need new creative minds and activity within that defensive, meeting room. You know, they need a more creative mind as far as their defensive coordinator goes. So if I'm the Houston Texans, I would strongly look at Josh McDaniels to be my next head coach. I think he has the moxie. I think he has the attitude. I think he has the creativity to get the best out of a quarterback like Deshaun Watson. I think that you need to get a better defensive coordinator in there to get the best out of Bradley Roby, Garyon Conley, Whitney Merciless, J.J. Watt. I just think that the Houston Texans are relying on their talent way too much. I think they're a talented team, but they're not consistent. They're not well coached. They got outgained this year. And again, Bill O'Brien, he's not a terrible head coach, but a lot of head coaches can do what he is doing. The Houston Texans need to clean house if they want to get the best out of Deshaun Watson and prolong his prime and compete for Super Bowls. Because next year, I'm sorry, I don't care what the Texans do. I'm not taking them seriously. Until they get rid of, Bill O'Brien, until they get rid of Romeo Crennel, I'm not sold. Until they prove me wrong, I'm not going to think otherwise. So again, the Houston Texans, they need to clean house. They need to get better. They need to get better coaches in the building to get the best out of Deshaun Watson and his team before it's too late. Be sure to comment where you agree with me and disagree with me. Love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video today. Be sure to smash this like button right now if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos weekly and almost every single day if I can. A fun fact about me is I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world. I want to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. Kind of like Colin Cowherd, Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp. You get the point. Okay, I want to do sports, television, and radio for a full living once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I currently am a freshman there right now. So the best thing you guys can do to just help me continue to grow as a young broadcaster is to just share this channel with all your friends, because potentially if this channel really gets somewhere, I want to start my own network, okay? Or potentially if it doesn't, or if I fall a little bit short, I want to go into a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. So the best thing you guys can do to just flat out just help me grow as a broadcaster, help me learn, get other people hip to this channel, just share this channel with all your friends, share this channel on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. Also, be sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. And once again, guys, just share this channel with everyone you know. Get everyone hipped and watching these videos. Get my voice out there and heard. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. It's been your boy, Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in today. I really do. Have a God blessed day. Stay motivated, you guys, and I'm out.